Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. This is it.
This is Top Flight Time Machine. I am Andy Hotbody Dawson. Pow, pow, pow.
I'm Sam Nifty Delaney. So what?
Welcome. It's the Friday morning episode. You get it on Thursday evening this time if you're an IFS subscriber. Couple of things we're going to be adding to our IFS subscription offering. We should probably mention them now.
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't listened to the Melchester Odyssey today, Thursday, there's a story running in there called, I forgot what it's called now.
Racy's Rocket.
Racy's Rocket. And it's Roy Race. It's a separate story. Roy Race and his side hustle, you could call it.
I've decided there should be a separate story just about me. But this one's about you. Yeah, but is it exclusively about me? Well, it's literally called Roy the Rovers. All right, well, I just want another one about a different aspect of my life.
Yeah, the thing is, though, that one, it's got Duncan, it's got this
Blackie,
new lad who signed, I forgot his name,
Penny.
Blackie's in there.
It's annoying in a way. They get in the way, don't they?
I want one that's just about me driving fast cars around. And it feels very diveable. So we're going to do some, probably mini episodes covering each of those, because there's three of them I've discovered already. 3 weeks behind on it. We'll do them, but they'll be IFS Turbo only. Forever. They'll never be released on the free-to-air feed.
Yeah, what we thought it'd be nice because we want to always show our Turbo subscribers, our elite level subscribers, how grateful we are for their extra special support. We thought, let's just start putting extra content, spin-off series on there just exclusively for them to say thanks. And I think I think they're going to enjoy it. I think this is going to be good.
Yeah,
and we'll have fun doing it too.
Starting. I don't know how long it'll last for. It depends how many weeks this Racy's Rocket story went on for. I don't know how many there was, but we'll do them. What was the thing we talked about? The Gibbons rig.
The Gibbons rig.
Yeah. Yeah,
well,
it's going to be...
That was going to be an extra tier. We toyed with the idea of another extra tier, which would feature the Gibbons rig, which was exclusive animal content, short mini pods on various different animals from the animal kingdom. I mean, there's loads. There's endless ones. If you think about it, you got dogs, elephants, and eaters. I mean, to name but three. That's just three. Rats. 4, there you go. But we could keep going for weeks. There's at least a year's worth of different animals, isn't there, in the animal kingdom? Yeah. So we thought, let's do a new level, and then again we just thought, but these Turbo people are the best, so let's just chuck it into the Turbo subscription model.
Extra. So animal related episodes under the name The Gibbons Rig. So they'll be getting.
And I don't want to stretch it, but just to float it out there, and I did float this recently, but you were quite rightly appalled at the very idea. But I have, I don't know what it is, maybe it's because it's the start of the season, I have this strange idea that we should start doing football content as well, as in mini episode form on the Turbo. But I don't know. I respect the fact that you're appalled by that idea, and I recognise that it's a strange thing for me to say. But I just the other day thought, let's just do little episodes about football sometimes and chuck it in the Turbo.
It feels perverse, to be honest.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, well, I've tried twice now to launch football podcasts.
I know, go for the hat trick.
Both times realised that
sometimes
football's really dull.
Sometimes we drift into football chat, and I come away from that was quite fun.
I'm not convinced.
Okay,
You've got a football podcast already. You've got West Ham.
I got my West Ham one, yeah. But that's just West Ham. I actually really like doing that because the thing is, I love talking about West Ham, and I'm less keen on football generally. I quite like football. What I like is talking about old international football tournaments with you. That's really good fun. I love that.
Yeah, well...
Maybe we'll do a Euro series. We've already done Euro 80. Maybe we'll do the others on the Turbo. I'm just saying maybe, Andy.
Yeah.
Either way, it's a good time if you're Platinum or any of the other tiers, all of which are wonderful, legitimate tiers. Now's the time to upgrade to Turbo because you get a lot of extra stuff, and there's more extra stuff coming.
Yeah. If you what's the other one called? IFS Platinum. If you're Platinum, it's about an extra £1 a week to go Turbo.
£1 extra,
Turbo.
you get a load of extra stuff, don't you?
You get our live video stream once a month as well.
They're a right laugh. We did run those this week.
Best fun.
We did one, wasn't it, last night? And to be honest, it was so good and we had so much fun. I arrive at today's Friday episode thinking, well, we've spent all our content all over our live stream last night.
Yeah, understandable. Understandable. Speaking of, we'll talk football if you want. News has just come through in the last 30 minutes that Sunderland have accepted an offer for our best player, Ross Stewart, from Southampton. He's going there for a fee of about 8 million, I think. I don't know if that's 8 million including add-ons, but he's in the last year of his contract, and basically we haven't paid him what he's worth.
Sorted it out.
We haven't paid him what he's worth. We've run his contract down. We're getting 8 million from him with a year left on his contract, but there you go. What can you buy?
Bit late in the window though, as well, isn't it? I mean, 8 million, fine, but it's a bit late in the window. What are you supposed to do with that money at this stage?
Well, who could you buy for 8 million that'll come and do what Ross Stewart could do? Anyway, that's
frustrating. Am I right in thinking that Jamal Baptiste signed for Sunderland, or have I imagined that from West Ham?
You've imagined that? Centre back. It's just broken this afternoon.
Oh no. So you've never had a player called Jamal Baptiste at Sunderland?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, must have dreamt the whole thing.
Who is he? Is he West Ham?
He was a West Ham player in our youth team. You did sign at least one player from our sort of academy or our under-23s. I think he might have been a fullback though. And anyway, he's now signed for City. Anyway, look, see, this is what we do. We talk about football here, mate, and not even like mainstream football, like strange transfer deals that, unless you're a fan of one of the clubs involved, you're just not interested in.
So we are about 7 minutes into this episode. We've spent some of it begging for more money, and then some of it talking about really niche football stuff that no one's interested in.
So it's bad, isn't it? We better up our game.
I don't see how that's gonna
attract any more
people to
custom
just to give us money. Yeah, it's pretty weak, really. What else is going on?
I've been to the National Archives in Kew today.
Again?
This afternoon. Well, I haven't been there for a while. I went there.
Professional capacity?
No. I just went. It was like I've been having this sort of adventurous week because the kids are away in the Isle of Wight, and we've found a new dog sitting app which allows us to have some hours to ourselves away from the constant ball ache of dog ownership. Right, which
the dog's still unable to be left alone.
You did warn me about. I know. I love the dog. I love having a dog, but fuck me, it's a fucking hassle. Anyway, at the moment the dog is going through a huge barking phase. I know all dogs bark, but at the moment the dog is going through a phase where it will bark incessantly without pause for 2-hour stretches, Andy.
Right.
So that's not good, and that's confusing. It reminds me of that bit in this. One of my favourite lines in The Sopranos when Anthony falls to sleep. What's his girlfriend called? I can't remember, but Anthony's got his girlfriend that he lives with in The Sopranos. Adriana. Oh, sorry, yeah, Christopher. What am I saying?
Adriana.
Yeah. So Christopher has fallen asleep on. He's got high on heroin, and he's fallen asleep on Adriana's dog, and it has died.
Crossette.
Yes,
yeah.
And then they stage an intervention, which is one of my all-time favourite scenes in anything. The intervention.
My daughter's been watching that episode today.
That episode. Well, that's one of the best episodes ever, and they did. Yeah. And one of the funniest bits in the intervention, which obviously goes badly wrong, is when they all have to share things that he's done whilst on drugs, and she says, "You killed my dog," and Paulie Walnut said, "You killed a dog? Why? Was it barking?" That's a reason that he can imagine having to kill a dog.
Whenever anyone Whenever anyone is unsure about who the best character on The Sopranos is, the answer is Paulie Walnuts.
Paulie Walnuts, of course, yeah, easily the best lines. In fact, you can watch fantastic supercuts of Paulie Walnuts, can't you, on YouTube, and waste a good half a day doing that. No
God,
problem.
Yeah, I've never thought of looking for that. I'll do
No
that
problem.
Tonight, maybe.
There's great supercuts of Paulie Walnuts up there. So I went. So anyway, we got this dog sitting app. So we've managed to source some dog sitters who seem to like the dog, despite the fact it barks a lot. And so me and my wife been doing some nice little day trips and curiosities and going to the movies. And we went to the National Archive. Fucking hell, it's a good place. You went there for the Cold War thing, didn't you?
I went for the Cold War thing. It was excellent. Yeah, I did get chased by a goose.
Yeah, there are geese there.
On
But
the way
that
in.
sort of, to me, that lends it a sort of a little bit of excitement and jeopardy. The fact that you have to run the gauntlet, you know. You don't get that many libraries. It's fucking near to me. And I was in there today and I was thinking, I said to my wife, I said, why don't we come here like every day? Because it's like a huge library and we could just like sit here and do work. And there's a cafe that does sandwiches and tea and bits of cake. Do you know what I mean? You can't beat a fucking library cafe.
Yeah,
so
great.
she was like, yeah. And then I said, then of course I always take things too far. I said, you know what? I think I'm going to apply for a job here. And she was like, what? Why? And I said, what a wonderful place to work. She went, what job? This is the National Archive. You're not an archivist. You don't know the first thing about running an archive. I said, no, I'm thinking more like that geezer working in the bookshop. I could be him. Right? And she's like, no, look, you can't just like a place and 5 minutes into liking it, plan on getting a job there or spending all your time there.
This is a bit like the episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm where Larry becomes a car salesman because he thinks he'll be good at it.
Yeah. That's it. I could see myself in this library. Hello. You're interested in the cabinet minutes from discussions during the miners' strike in 1984. Yes, I can show you to that particular part of the archive. Follow me, no problem.
I'm getting a flavour here of Nigel Tufnell in Spinal Tap when he talks about
working in a shoe shop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, madam. You're interested in the Victorian Inventions exhibition? Certainly. Please come this way.
Spinal Tap was on the telly a couple of nights ago, which means it's on iPlayer for probably the next year. So if you've never seen this,
great.
This is Spinal
Is
Tap.
that no?
It's one of
And
the best
that
films
do you
ever.
know what's great about that? It's really hard. It's not on any streaming services. So I tried to show it to my son last year, I think, and and it was you couldn't get. I looked on, I did the Dawson technique and used Just Watch, and it's not anywhere.
iPlayer's not on there, I don't think, on Just Watch. But I think the Beebs show it like every year just to keep it on the iPlayer.
Right. Good. Okay.
Then they get the rights
As
to
soon
show
as
for a year,
Len's
so
back from the Isle of Wight, that's getting watched.
And it's only 80 minutes long as well, which is fantastic. Perfect length. 80 minutes.
Oh, yeah. I saw a film at cinema yesterday. It was 80 minutes, but to be honest, I didn't like it that much. I fell asleep for the last 10 anyway. So I got a solid 70 minutes out of it. It's called Scrapper, and it's a debut movie by a young British female director. And it's set on an estate in London about a girl who's orphaned, and she's sort of basically doing that thing of trying to live alone and not letting social services find out. It was all right. The main thing is she wears a West Ham shirt from the 90s throughout the entire film, and that is how my wife enticed me to come and see it. Because it was at the art house cinema that I'm usually suspicious of, you see. And she said, I want to go and see this. And I didn't want to. I wanted to go to the Cineplex, right, and see a mainstream film. And she went, no, come on, you'll like this. And I said, well, I'm not sure what's it about. And then she showed me the picture of it. And she went, you're going to like this, look. And the little girl in it, who's the protagonist, wears a West Ham shirt throughout the whole thing.
Right.
And West Ham never get mentioned once outside of it, though. So I felt shortchanged.
So you fell asleep?
She's just wearing it. As soon as I realised there was going to be no West Ham chat, I was like, right, shut down.
Check it out.
Body shut down.
Shut the body down.
Delaney out.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice comfy seats though, yeah?
Yeah. No, that was the other thing. It was really hot in the cinema. In the auditorium, would you call it? The cinema.
Call it that, yeah.
The cinema, the screening room.
The theatre.
It was so hot, Andy, and And on top of that, they'd put in a mobile air conditioning unit to try and fucking help the situation. But all that did was make a racket and not do anything to cool me down. So in the end, it was a case of I'm shutting my body down. It's the only way to escape.
Survive.
But at the National Archive, I went there because there's an exhibition about inventions. And what they have is when the government changed the law on patents in the Victorian era, in like the 1850s or something, they said, listen, patents are a right hassle to get. So now what you can do is you can simply register your invention if you wish. We will streamline it, and you can just register your invention, right? And that way, it's a different legal status. It's not as watertight, but at least people can see that you've done. But it's Victorian era, right? And it fucking attracted so many people. There was a national craze for inventing. And they all drew their inventions, right? They had to, mate. They were Victorians. They didn't have an Apple Mac or nothing like that, right? Or a 3D printer. They just had to fucking draw them. But they drew them really neatly, and I can tell you. And all of this shit's in the National Archive. So they've stuck it up all over the place. All these fucking mad things. Because it wasn't just... There was some stuff that was good, and they were professional engineers.
Yeah.
But people were so into it, there was just mad shit. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I like the sound of this.
And it's all drawn and written really neatly. Victorians have really neat handwriting, mate.
So is it kind of like a Victorian Dragon's Den almost?
It was like that. That's exactly it. Just looking at something. I took a photo. Hairbrushing apparatus. A machine that cleans hair. Inventor Charles Septimus Ravenscroft. A hair cutter, restorer, and perfumier.
Hey!
He registered this in 1865. The first hairbrushing machine was patented in 1862 and became a sensation, with hairdressers rushing to install their own. They were originally designed to be used just by men, and despite the name, were actually for cleaning rather than brushing hair, as people rarely washed their hair at the time. The machine removed dirt from the scalp whilst, in quote marks, imparting an agreeable feeling. Isn't that nice?
What about that?
Oh, I'd love to have an agreeable feeling imparted upon me.
Jalapeño.
Here's a brief but annoying message to let you know that you wouldn't be hearing this brief but annoying message if you were a subscriber to our Iron Filing Society Patreon offering.
For the price of a pint and a St. Clement's each month, you can get up to 4 episodes a week, 9 months before the rest of the world gets them. Early access to regular episodes, lots of other marvellous benefits, and there's absolutely no adverts or brief but annoying messages like this that'll get right on your tits.
Find out more and subscribe now at tftimemachine.com/ironfilings.
Jalapeño. Jalapeño.
I love Victorian advertising, if that's the right word for it.
Yeah.
It's like the Beatles song "Benefit of Mr. Kite."
Oh yeah, all that
just taken
stuff.
from a circus poster.
Yes.
There
Mr. Andrew Dawson presents his most curious and peculiar podcast broadcasting device for your audible wonderment.
Pablo Fanke's Circus Royal, Town Meadows, Rochdale, grandest night of the season, and positively the last night but 3. All that sort of thing.
Yeah, the Victorians were fucking brilliant. They were mental
Good with the words.
and brilliant. Yeah. So I've been looking at Victorian inventions this afternoon, and I enjoyed it a huge amount. Then
There's a bit more. Mr. Henderson will undertake the arduous task of throwing 21 Somersets on the solid ground.
Fuck me.
Which, of course, they just nicked it for the lyrics for the song. But when you see it on the poster as well, it's lovely. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my day. Victorian inventors.
Sounds good. Do you know how long that exhibition's on for?
I don't actually. I'll check it out though for you in case you fancy a visit next time you're in London.
I've got a bit of a hankering for a day or two in London because there's a Paul McCartney photography exhibition on that I want to see.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, my mum went to that.
National Gallery or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, my mum went with her mate Jackie up west.
Yeah.
And they decided to go to the National Gallery, and I said, "Oh, that's good. Did you see the Paul McCartney exhibition?" And she went, "I don't think so. No." And I said, "Did you say you went to the National Gallery?" And she went, "Yeah." I said, "There's an exhibition there." it's Paul McCartney's exhibition. She had a lot of press. She went, oh, wow. She went, I mean, I did see a lot of pictures of the Beatles. I mean, it could have been that. I went, yeah, I think it fucking was that. Put two and join the fucking dots.
Just wasn't curious enough.
She loves the Beatles. But she's just gone in there and, oh, yeah, it's the Beatles. That's nice. Nice
I'll
to
not
see.
bother looking at that. I've
Nice
seen
to
it
see.
all.
Oh, I've fucking seen them. I mean, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. I love the songs and all that, but fucking hell, if
Oh,
I've
look
seen
at
them, if I've seen them once, I've seen them a million times.
Shall we look at some more consumer rumours?
Yeah.
Come in from our devoted listeners. What have we got? There's, we did mention talking about going to Tokyo and doing a show, and a couple of people from Tokyo kind of said, "Are you really coming to Tokyo?" Chances are probably not. But it's
Probably not
definitely
unless
good to say.
you find a way of, and I'm talking directly to you, the listeners in Tokyo, of financing it. The West Ham podcast that I work with, not the one I present, but one of the other ones that are part of the sort of thing, they go, because it's all a Patreon thing, you know, and they go off to Australia and Las Vegas, and they just get,
What, do live shows?
yeah, they just done one in Perth this summer. Last summer they did one in Vegas, and they always get a company like a sponsor to basically sponsor the tour.
Right.
And then they get there and they sell loads of tickets to locals.
All right.
Yeah.
I suspect we're not at that level.
No, we don't have as many fans as West Ham United have, but we must have some corporate suckers out there who are willing to come on the private jet with us and sponsor it.
Yeah, or someone who could write it off as a tax thing through their company.
Send us over. Listen, this podcast goes out to a lot of people. It's not just about the people that turn up in Tokyo. We will then broadcast it, right, as a podcast. You want me to get your corporate logo tattooed somewhere on my person? I'm open to conversations. I'm open to any conversation. Just get me to Tokyo, for fuck's sake.
Anyway, consumer rumours. Andrew Sheech says, consumer rumour from when I was a kid. Pepsi was made from pig's blood. Never heard that one before.
Have you seen this one
Feels-
from Violet Nankervis? Good name. Sorry that I accidentally called you Violent Wankervis. Hello, Sam and Andy. Long-term suffering listener. My husband insists on playing your podcast on very long car journeys we take.
Hey!
That's a backhanded compliment. I listen to it, but only because it's forced upon me. I felt compelled to write and tell you about the consumer rumour that traumatised my youth. I was told that Tampax tested tampons on rats. I was devastated at the thought of tampons being shoved up innocent rats' arses. I wrote to them to inquire if this was true, and they never responded, hoping it's not true. That is a letter I would love to see if you still have a copy of it, Violet.
Yeah.
It would go into that book or that Twitter account, Letters of Note. A young girl writes to Tampax asking if they test their products on rats.
But they didn't respond. I think their silence, Sam, speaks volumes
Speaks volumes, yeah.
in this case.
P.S. I designed a kitchen for, and I'm not going to name the person because this is quite a damning story and we don't want to expose ourselves.
Yeah.
But let's just say she was a noted travel broadcaster of the 80s. Is that right? Is that fair to say? No.
Yeah, but it's not
Yeah.
Judith Chalmers.
Okay. Right. She says, Violet says, I designed a kitchen for her. She had no spatial awareness and insisted we include an American fridge freezer in a 600mm space. The whole thing was hard work. TTFN dickheads, Violet Palmer, wife of Chris Painter.
That's another subject.
Violent Painter. Violent Painter.
Violent painter, like Jackson Pollock.
Yeah. Violet Painter, wife of Chris Painter. Sorry, I made the right mess of reading that out, but
that's
good
another
email.
possible topic. Have you done trade work for a celebrity, and how did it go?
We've had that. The geezer. Do you remember a listener came and made a fence for me, a gate?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. Well, you're the celebrity in this case. Is that what you're saying?
No, he came over and told me that he had worked for celebrities in my locale. And, yeah,
on the barn scene. Yeah.
On the barn scene, he'd made some fencing and gates for people. Yeah, celebrities.
Did he name names?
Who did he name? It was someone really good.
Was it Giles Brandreth?
Fucking hell. Don't even mention him, because my son has really picked up on the idea that Giles Brandreth is my nemesis.
Your rival,
and keeps doing fucking pranks on me where he's like leaves Giles Brandreth's author page open on my laptop when he's been using it and stuff like that, and keeps bringing up Giles. He keeps like asking me who's your favourite author when we were on holiday, and he goes round the table and then he gets to him. The whole thing is a prank, because they go, who's yours? And he goes, it's got to be Brandreth. He goes, Brandreth, some of those books he's written about the Queen. But listen, Barnes Book Fair's coming up in September, and I'm doing an event there of Irvine Welsh, and Brandreth's on the same bill. And I don't want to say it's going to get naughty, but I think it could get naughty. Put it this way, I'll be wearing my fucking Stone Island.
That's a hell of a lineup. You, Irvine Welsh, and Brandreth.
Yeah.
All in the same building. Fucking hell.
Yeah, mate.
I'll come down for that.
Yeah, it's fucking going to be
my London trip.
Yeah, exactly, because we're just around the corner from Kew. Come down, mate. Be a right laugh.
Yeah, might do.
I'll show you the sights around Barnes. Bit of luck, Lineker might turn up, mate. Lineker might turn up on his haunches.
Yeah, just in the bushes.
He might turn up fully erect.
It'd be like that picture of Tony Blair that the Tories put on that poster where he had bright red eyes. It'd be like that'll be in the bushes. You'll just see the bright red eyes
out the back, because I think these events are done in sometimes they set up a tent on the green in the middle of Barnes. I think it might be in one of them, and so he'll be able to watch from the bushes outside the tent. Probably he might do that,
right?
Just because he likes to keep a low one.
Yeah, I'll come down, no problem. What else we got? Some more consumer rumours that have come in over the past few days. McDonald's based rumour again. Fucking hell. Stephen Wilson. When they run the McDonald's monopoly, you get more chance of winning the national lottery twice than winning the McDonald's monopoly.
Again, that's just a rumour. We can't be getting stuck into casting aspersions against McDonald's marketing techniques. You know, this is a very fucking litigious outfit we're dealing with here, so tread carefully.
Yeah, we do not believe any of these. Just want to say that. Will Munton, when I was in primary school, Sunny Delight was absolutely massive.
Yeah,
until one
Sunny
day,
D.
We all heard a rumour that someone had drank so much of it they turned orange. My friends and I all stopped drinking it. That was a widespread rumour. I'd heard that one, and I wasn't even a kid when that one was doing the rounds.
There was a lot of things
for Sunny Delight.
A lot of consumer rumours got so big that they actually did make kids change their consumer habits.
Was Sunny Delight not revealed to have something like 20 fucking cups of sugar in it or something like that?
Yeah, and also
I think that stopped making it.
Glass dust.
Yeah.
No, not really. Again, don't want to get
Cat
sued.
shit.
Yeah, that's how they flavoured it. They got cat shit from China.
Gareth Wilson. Does hearing in the playground that Ray and Anita off of 2 Unlimited were dead in a car crash count as a consumer rumour?
No, that's not a consumer. That's a pop rumour. We'll file that.
Pop rumour's completely different.
That's pop rumour. That goes alongside Mark Harmond with the spunk in his tummy. Different category. Less interesting to us, really, because pop rumours are more mainstream, aren't they?
Yeah. I think we've exhausted the consumer rumours there, but we've got some...
Well, keep more coming in, lads, because they're really good. There's got to be more. I'm pretty sure...
Some football predictions.
I talked before about Polo Mints making you sterile. Have we mentioned that one before?
I don't know where that was.
That's certainly one that I remember from school. Make you sterile. Although why we were bothered about being sterile when we were school children, I don't know. I mean, you know...
all I want to do when I grow up is become a father.
I know, yeah. It's like, you know, consumer rumours are really big when you're about 9, 10, aren't they? That's like that's the golden age of consumer rumours. So why we gave a shit about being sterile? Oh, I must remain fertile. I need to sire an heir.
I need to create a family.
You'd be like, oh, good. Oh, I want a kid out. I'm never going to have sex with a bird.
So we've got some predictions to do quickly before we go. Here we are. First of all, Arsenal versus Manchester United.
It's massive. I say Arsenal 2, Manchester United 0. Sorry, Man U fans. I know there'll be a lot of you out there because there's a lot of you everywhere.
Yeah,
but I've got a bad feeling about your season. You look a bit shit.
Can I just match that? Can I go 2-0 as well, Arsenal?
Yeah. Have you seen them? I mean, Arsenal haven't got off to a great start, but United look poor to me. I don't know about that Ten Hag bloke. He looks creepy. Like he looks.
It could just be early bad season form. Don't know, but it doesn't look good, does it?
No offense, right? But I'm looking at Ten Hag and I'm starting to think he looks. And it's not just because he's Dutch. I'm starting to think he looks a bit like
Partly because he's Dutch.
He looks a bit like a sex person. Do you know what I mean? Don't you think?
Maybe.
Like someone who'd own an executive flat.
It reminds me a bit of that
hardly any
comedian.
furniture in.
It reminds me a bit of that comedian Andy Parsons.
Oh yeah,
same kind of look as him.
Yeah, Andy Parsons
in the jaw area.
There's something not right about that fella, and he's going around buying weird fucking players like that Anthony bloke and shit for loads of money, and they're fucking bag average. And I don't know. I think this is all part of an elaborate sex perv game.
You'll see. We could just clip that out and put it in our new football podcast if you like.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Brentford versus Bournemouth. I'll go first on this. Fucking hell. Brentford, Bournemouth. Oh, I think Bournemouth are going to go down this season. I think they're going to be pretty shite. I'm going to say 2-0 again. 2-0 Brentford.
Yeah, all right. I'll go 2-1 Brentford.
Okay. Luton versus West Ham. Luton's ground is finally ready for the Premier League.
What a game to start with. They'll be so excited about West Ham visiting, and I can tell you West Ham are excited about going there as well. I'm gutted I can't get a ticket. Yeah. This is Friday night on the box. There will be quite the atmosphere. So it's going to be tough, but I think we'll win it 1-0.
Tight.
I do think it'll be tight.
I think you'll win it 3-0.
Hope so.
There you go. Saturday lunchtime, 12:30, Sunderland versus Southampton. Of course,
those fuckers, they better not be playing, what's his name?
Ross Stewart. Well, he's still injured. He's still injured.
Thank
he's
God,
injured for
because that is the worst. If you sell a player and 2 days later he plays against you, fuck that.
Is he going to be sat there with his Southampton tracksuit on?
The cunt.
He better stay away.
The fucking snake. I don't know. I haven't been monitoring it enough. I'm going to have to say Southampton. Is it you going first?
Let you go first. Yeah, I'll first crack at this one. I think this will be 2-1 to Southampton.
Okay, I'm actually going to say 1-0. 1-0.
1-0. All right.
Yeah.
Finally, Brighton versus Newcastle United.
I reckon Brighton 2, Newcastle 1.
I think it will be 2-0 to Brighton. I think there's something not quite right about Newcastle so far this season.
Yeah. Iffy.
There we are. That's our football opinions and our predictions.
And that's what it's about. It's all about opinions. It's all about opinions, isn't it?
We've all got them.
We've all got them. We're like arseholes.
And the thing is, mine might change. Might change this time next week. I might think something else.
That's the game. That is why we all love this game.
Yeah. There you go. Thanks for listening and goodbye.
Goodbye.